$47 million. That's what Michigan paid for a computer. They called it MiDAS, the Michigan Integrated Data Automated System. It was designed to detect unemployment fraud and to replace the people who used to do it. The state laid off 400 investigators. The algorithm took their jobs. It compared what claimants reported to what employers reported. Any discrepancy was a flag. A flag meant fraud. Jason Doss worked at a manufacturing plant near Detroit. He was laid off. He filed for unemployment. He was approved. He found a new job. He moved on. A computer reopened this case. MiDAS did not interview claimants. It did not call employers to verify. It sent a questionnaire to an online portal and started a silent countdown. The portal most claimants had no reason to check because they had already found new jobs. If you did not respond in 10 days, the system decided for you. The answer was always fraud. Once flagged, the penalty was 400%. The questionnaire MiDAS sent was pre-filled with answers that would confirm the fraud charge. Jason Doss had been approved for benefits 6 years earlier. He had even won an appeal before a human judge. 2 years later, a quarter of his paycheck disappeared. No phone call, no letter, no warning. The state of Michigan was garnishing his wages. It said he had committed fraud. MiDAS went back into the records. It found the discrepancy the human judge had already resolved. The machine overruled the judge. Flagged him again. His wages were garnished, 1/4 of every paycheck. His tax refunds were intercepted. He called the agency. He was on hold for 45 minutes. All they could tell him was you owe $84,000. He had already won his appeal years ago. In just 22 months, MiDAS issued more than 60,000 fraud determinations. The Michigan Auditor General reviewed 22,000 of them. 93% were wrong. 40,000 people were falsely accused. And 2 years, more fraud cases than the agency had processed in 20 years, all decided by an algorithm. The vendor who built MiDAS was asked what went wrong. He said the system worked exactly as the state intended. They only asked to turn it off when it made the papers. Nobody asked the obvious questions. The notices went only to an online portal, not by mail. A portal you would only check if you were still unemployed. Most of these people had already gone back to work. They never saw the notice. So MiDAS decided they had admitted to fraud. A woman named Colvin had a degree in criminal justice. She applied for a job at the county sheriff's office. They called her back, not to hire her, to tell her the fraud charge disqualified her. 6 years after MiDAS flagged her, a judge finally dismissed it. But the record had already cost her the career. Nancy DeRocco lost a quarter of every paycheck for a fraud charge a computer made without evidence. People lost their homes, filed for bankruptcy, their credit destroyed by an algorithm's output. All of them were flagged. Every case had been closed years ago. No investigation. No interview, no human being in the process. Just a flag in a database on a Tuesday. 40,000 people into years, exposed by a machine that replaced 400 human beings. 100% plus interest. 14,000 became 80,000. None of them fit the profile. Jason Doss had already won his case before a judge. The system does not need anyone to commit fraud. It does not need evidence. It needs a discrepancy in a database. One number that does not match another number. Reviewed by no one. Appeal to a portal no one visits. The portal is still sending notifications. The interest is still compounding. A quarter of every paycheck. Gone before anyone was told. Was never warned. The flag was all it needed.